Welcome back to the Thrive 45 Method podcast with me, your host, nutritionist Stacey Nicole Smith. And this is the space where we talk all things weight loss and wellness for the woman in perimenopause and menopause. Now, let's get started with today's episode. Good morning, guys. All right, so today, let's get right to it. Was requested by you how to reduce cortisol and belly fat after age 45. All right, so you've probably noticed that, and it's frustrating, that you may not have changed anything and you are gaining weight probably on the belly as a woman over the age of 45, going through the hormonal shifts of perimenopause, menopause. And one of the main reasons is for this. So we're really going to get into how cortisol is affecting this today and how the very things that you are trying to do to lose weight are backfiring and working against you because of cortisol. And one thing that is going to help you greatly, and I'm going to mention it now before I forget, and you'll understand why it's so important by the end of this today, is I have for you the absolute perfect high protein breakfast recipe that's perfect for reducing belly fat in perimenopause and menopause. If you want that, comment protein, and you're going to see why by the end of this today, why that's so important. So don't forget to get on that. I took the guesswork out for you. You can just follow it step by step. So how to reduce cortisol and belly fat after 45. First, it's important to understand that there's a reason. So when we're trying to lose this belly fat that tends to come out of nowhere, so we haven't changed a single thing. We're eating the same number. And you know I don't like the word calories, but I'm going to use it for demonstration purposes. We're eating the same amount of calories, nothing's changed, but then you're gaining weight out of nowhere. What is going on? So our natural response to that is what we've been taught for years, and that is to reduce calories lower and lower, create this calorie deficit, right? But here is why most women over 45 are having a hard time losing that weight, because we are treating it as a calorie problem. It's not a calorie problem. And by decreasing your calories more and more, this is seen as a stressor by your body. The problem is the hormonal fluctuations, namely estrogen, progesterone, fluctuating, declining. And when this happens, cortisol, the stress hormone, starts to go up. So now we have a situation that we need to work around. So cortisol is that stress hormone that is famously known for putting weight right on the belly. So basically our system at this age, we are more sensitive to stress, if you will. So the things that we are normally doing, that we would normally do when we're younger to lose weight, they're actually working against us, hence the frustration. I understand why women are frustrated. So when you're cutting calories lower and lower and overly restricting calories, your body views this as a stressor. So what is it going to do? It's going to have a stress response, cortisol. When we are cutting and eliminating carbs and doing that keto, our body sees that as a stressor. We're more sensitive to stress response. When we're skipping breakfast and doing this intermittent fasting, you got it, our body views that as a stressor, stress response. So these things that we used to do and we would get results when we were younger, they're working against us. That's why you're frustrated. You're like, I'm doing everything right, everything you've told is right, and it's not working. So what do we need to do? Here is, I'm going to simplify it as much as possible. Cortisol and blood sugar are very closely tied together. So instead of being a calorie problem, it's more of a hormone signaling problem. But today we're going to talk about blood sugar. One of the simplest things that you can do, because you want to know how to reduce cortisol and belly fat after 45, is cortisol is highest in the morning. Now, it's supposed to be because that's what wakes us up. It's not that cortisol is a bad thing, but when we're more sensitive to stress, we just need to calm this down a little bit. And the simplest way to do that is to balance our blood sugar first thing in the morning. Balancing our blood sugar first thing in the morning is going to cut through that cortisol. And there is a whole domino effect of wonderful things that are going to happen when you balance your blood sugar properly in the morning. It's going to help with your energy levels. It's going to help with food cravings later. It's going to help get your hunger hormones signaling properly so you're not having unnecessary hunger. But that's going to be the thing, and that is the high protein breakfast recipe that I mentioned that you want to have, grab the recipe, comment protein, I'll give it to you. You want to have that within about an hour of waking up in the morning. And that's going to help to balance out your blood sugar perfectly. It's the right amounts of protein, fiber, and healthy fats. So have that within an hour of waking. That's the first thing, the first simple step. Now, the next thing we want to understand is the over-exercising, the intermittent fasting, the cutting, that's all working against us. And so a little bit of mindset shifting is necessary here too as well, because we're used to overly restriction. So again, it's not a calorie problem at this age, it's a hormone signaling problem. So literally, if you look back and you're like, I haven't changed anything and I'm gaining weight out of nowhere, you haven't changed anything. You haven't changed your calories, but yet you're gaining weight. And the reason is because the signaling needs a different strategy. The signaling is a little off. So we just got to go in there with the correct nutritional strategies to correct that. And we absolutely can do that. And one of those is, of course, balancing the blood sugar first thing in the morning, which cuts through the cortisol with the protein within an hour of waking. So we want to look at that. You also want to make sure you're not over-exercising, over-stressing yourself out, over-restricting. Right now, it's not about restricting for weight loss. It's about supporting the body properly. And now this is good news, by the way, because nobody wants to starve. Nobody wants to be restrictive. Nobody wants to feel deprived. So this is all very good news. So you want to eat properly to support your body. And not only is that going to help your body to then unlock and release the excess weight, but you're going to have better energy, steady through the day. You're not going to be like crashing out at 3 p.m., tired, having food cravings. You're not going to be wanting to eat at night. None of this stuff, guys. And that's going to make it very sustainable because you're never deprived. You're fueling your body with what it needs. And when you give your body what it needs in the right amounts at the right times of day, it will, in fact, unlock that fat loss for you. And then it becomes almost effortless. But it's a root cause approach. You got to get to the root of it first. And it's not overly restricting. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys. Cortisol and belly fat do tend to go hand in hand. You are not alone. It is common. It's just having a simple understanding of how these hormones are working behind the scenes. Basically, we are more sensitive to stress. Cortisol is the stress hormone. That's what's happening. So we want to avoid doing things that stress our body out, which are basically overly restrictive things, over-exercising, overly restricting. And no intermittent fasting, ladies, at this age. I know you think it's going to work, that you eat less calories and smaller window. It's working against you. So if you want the perfect protein breakfast recipe that's going to help you with exactly this, how to reduce cortisol and belly fat as a woman over 45, comment protein, and I will send it over to you, and you can follow it step by step and have that every morning within an hour of waking. And that's going to be a very good head start for you. Anyway, I hope that helps you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. Thanks for listening. I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, please be sure to like and subscribe to be notified when new episodes are released. Episodes like this are released weekly for all things weight loss and wellness for the woman in perimenopause and menopause. And for other ways I can help you, please be sure to visit the show notes or visit my bio. Thanks for listening. Bye.